Alright, welcome to Chaka Quantics. In this video, I'll be taking us through final accounts, and this is the part 2 of a previous video on our YouTube channel. Kindly do well to visit the channel and check on all we did on the part 1, then related to this, the part 2. Alright, now this is the question. Like we've always done, we reference our questions to our videos to the NIQS test for professional competence exam, so that to give it its reality with respect to construction projects. All right, it says at the end of a project, you are required to prepare the final account for the project using the following particulars extracted from the project file. Projects: construction of duplex housing for Federal Controllers of Works. Contractor is Messrs. Maza Construction Company Limited. All right. The original contract sum is 320 million. Contingency sum is 10 million. VAT is 16 million. And I would like to explain something here. This might be the technicality the examiner wants the students to, or the would-be professional members to unravel. Right. This is 320 million. VAT is 16 million. Now, if I remove 16 million from 320 million, I should have 304 million. If I take 5% of it, it will not give me back 320 million. It means that this VAT is contract sum is VAT exclusive. It is VAT exclusive, but of course inclusive of contingency sum, because contingency sum are not exclusive, because you don't know if you are going to meet anything contingent in the course of the project. All right, let us continue. I will be referring to this when we begin the solution. I just want to explain this. Now we have provisional sums in the BOQ. Provisional sums are sums allowed in the BOQ for item of work whose quantities cannot be precisely ascertained during the as a tender period or during the preparation of the BOQ. All right, provisional sums are sums allowed for in the bill of quantity to cover for items whose quantities cannot be precisely ascertained as a preparation of the BOQ or during the tender period. So you see here, additional foundation. It was 3,300,000. Now it is 6 million. It is still burglar proof. It is 3,200,000. Now it is 5,500,000. The same thing with entrance canopy and external works. Now you see their increment. Now remeasurement of provisional quantities. Provisional quantities also are quantities, all right, allowed for in the bill of quantity for item of work where their details are not 100% known. Right, their details are not. Take for instance, substructure cannot be 100% known because you don't really know what you are going to encounter in the course of the substructure. Apart from the site geotechnical investigation you did, the site testing and all that, you don't know what, when you begin to excavate, you don't know what you are going to encounter. That is why substructures are always provisional. The same thing here in this question, we're told that value trade also is also provisional. That means as at the time of preparing the BOQ, the quantity, the details for the barrel sheet are not known. That is why you see it is provisional quantity. Now, after remeasurement, we have this for the substructure, and we have this for the balustrade. Okay, and now fluctuation is 5,100,000. Approved loss and expense claim is this. Now this should remind you of what we did in valuation, how to pretend valuation like a pro, part 2. Right there you see fluctuation, you see loss and expense, and a whole lot of. I also see profit and attendance, like we are going to see here. All right, now you see how these things are related. Now PC sums in the BOQ. PC sums are called prime cost sums. These are sums allowed for in the BOQ for specialist works. Specialist work. Take for instance lift, take for instance HVAC, take for instance LAN, and a whole lot of others. It could be doors and windows. Right, special doors and windows. They begin to have curtain walls and all and all. Now it says assume HVAC installations was executed by the main contractor, and that the main contractor's profit and attendance on the subcontracts are 5% and 2.5%. HVAC is done by the main contractor, so on HVAC he will not be getting profit and attendance except he wants to charge himself for profit and attendance. All right, I hope that is clear. So profit and attendance for both land and lift. Now this is what this question is talking about. All right, let's delve into, let's dive, I think that's English, into the solution. All right, this is the project particulars. Contractor is Messrs, let me stress it, Messrs Maza Construction Company Limited. Messrs is actually a French word meaning gentlemen and sirs. All right, gentlemen and sirs. It's a French word though, because the meaning and the spelling, they are not matching. All right, but that aside. All right, that aside. All right, now final account statement is a comprehensive document that outlines the detailed amount, right, spent on a particular project over a particular period of time, and it also determines what we pay to the contractor at the end of, or at the final certificate, that is at the end of the defect liability period. Right, it is at the defect liability, at the end of defect liability period, the contractor gets his final certificate, which has its final payment, and that is determined in the final accounts. All right, now from the question, we are told that the contract sum is 320 million. If you have gone through our first video, which I would advise you to do, we have the contract sum, of course, which is inclusive of maybe VAT, or inclusive of contingency, or inclusive of preliminaries, as the case may be. First, you need to bring the contract sum to its adjusted state, what we call the adjusted contract sum. That is, remove VAT, remove contingency, remove preliminaries. If it is stated clearly, these things has to be removed, because these are additions. They are not part of the elements of the work. They are additions. Preliminary, maybe they say 5% of the contract sum, and VAT is 7.5%. Maybe contingency sum say 3 or 5 or whatever percent. These are additions. They are not exactly part of the elements of the work. So we need to remove them to arrive at the contract sum that was adjusted to give us that particular amount. All right, now if you please watch our video, the previous video, that is the part 1 of final account. Now I was saying something. I said 16 million here is not part of this contract sum. As this contract sum is VAT exclusive. Now let us see together. I have 320 million. All right, 320 million. Let's remove 16 million. Let's 16, 1 2 3 1 2 3. We want to see. All right, now this minus this gives me 304. Now let's take 5% of 304. If it will bring us back to 320. All right, 5% of 304. This gives me 304 times 5%, because that is what it means. It should give us that. I have 15,200. If I sum it up, it is 319,200. So this all right, now let us see. Now from here you see that this is 319 million, and if we see from another perspective also, let's see from this perspective, this is 320 million, right? And I said it is inclusive of the contingency less 10 million, then less 16 million. 1 2 3 1 2 3. All right, now if I less everything here, this gives me 294,000, right? Which means if I add 5% on 295,000, then add 10%, it should give me 320 million, which is not going to happen here. Now see, 5%, let's say 5% times this, it gives me this, right? If I add it up, I have this 308. Then add 10 million to it. 1 2 3 1 2 3. All right, we are going to be arriving at 318,700. All right, I'm just trying to show that this VAT is not included here, only contingency. Generally in a contract, this is what you have. You have total elemental cost, right? Then you add contingency, then you add VAT. This is it. You have the total elemental cost, that's what you call this total one. You add contingency before you add VAT. Please refer to our previous video, see the question and see how that is obtained. So that explains what we have. This is 320 million and less contingency, right? See, less VAT. I put this here so that I can make that explanation. VAT is not included here, so we are not lessing VAT. That is, now you see, that's why I'm deleting it. I want to make that explanation very clear to us. All right, now let's come here. Provisional sums in the BOQ. I'm relating it to the question now. Just direct so that you will get it very clear. Is this additional foundation was 3,300,000, 96 million. That is what the final account is. A sheet of a sheet with omission and addition columns, where the omission column contains the contract figures, while the addition columns contains the adjusted figures, that's the increase. Initially it was 3.3, now it is 6 million. That is where you have in the that's what you have in the addition column, while what is in the contract is obtained in the omission column. Please let us take note of that. And steel burglar proofing was this, and now it is this. The same thing we'll do for canopy and external works so that we can make the video short. All right, remeasurement of provisional quantities also. Substructure was 30 million and now it is 41 million. Staircase balustrade was 1.6 million, now it is 3.2 million. All right, see them here. 30 million now 41 million, 1.6 million now 3.296 million. Okay. All right, now we have fluctuation and we have loss and expense claim. This is not part of the original contract, that is why you're not seeing it here. Loss and expense is not part of the original contract, that is why you're not seeing here. Now we've explained this in our videos on valuation like a pro part 2. We'll not be going back to them. Please refer to this video so that you understand what these items are. Now that's why you see it here, 6 million. Now the next is PC sum in the BOQ. PC sum in the BOQ. Yeah, I took them stage by stage. PC sums in the BOQ, HVAC and all. See them here. HVAC is 16 million, now 21. Was 16 million, now 21 million. LAN was 14 million, now 19 million. Lift installation was 12 million 500, now 14 million 500. All right, now their profit and attendance is, of course, it was this here, but now is this here. 7.5 of 14 million gives us this, then 7.5 of this gives us that. Now there will be no profit and attendance on HVAC. The reason is because HVAC is done by the main contractor. Assume that the HVAC installation was executed by the main contractor, right? So he cannot charge himself for profit and attendance. All right, now having done that, we sum everything in the omission column, and we also sum everything in the addition column. And now we deduct what is in the omission from what is in the addition. All right, so this is what we have here, and this is my total omission. I subtract it from here. That gives me 360 million 321,518 naira. All right, so that is what we have. Then I can now add my VAT. This is the new, let me put the contract sum, right? It is a new contract sum because it now shows the original position of the project. This is what was signed at tender, but upon execution towards the final stage of the project, this is what it is turning out to. See it here, 360 million, but when they signed the contract it was 320 million. Now you see why it is called the final account. When they sign it is 320 million, but when they execute it now, at the end of the day, it is now 360 million. All right, so we add VAT, and VAT from the question is 5%. We add VAT, which is 5%. So the new contract sum with VAT is this. Let me put it here, plus VAT is this. This is the new contract sum. When you add VAT, it becomes this guy here. Now, for us to know what would have been paid to the contractor till date, we less total certified values in the previous interim valuations. Please check our previous video on final account. You are going to see it there. That document gave us the contract BOQ, then the BOQ at penultimate, the valuation at penultimate, right? So from there you can see the previously certified and how it can be applied. Please do have to check out our previous video. Now in that one you don't have lift. I think there's lift also there. You don't have profit and attendance, you don't have fluctuation, you don't have provisional sums, right? So you see it can come in different form. That is why we're making this video as a part 2. So with this and that explains everything you are going to see on a project and in a final account statement. Please do visit that video, put it side by side with this. You will get 101% overview of what a final account is all about. So if I deduct previous payment, say he has been paid previously 325 million, all right, then I'll be paying him now 53 million. All right, but now this is not in the question. This is not in the question. We were not told what he was paid in previous valuations. We were not told what he was paid in previous interim valuations. That is why you see this. I just marked it out red. Less total certified interim valuations till date. We don't know. If we had known, we would have just put it. But I will give you an idea. Most times, final account comes after your penultimate valuation. And even most of the times, your penultimate valuation determines your final account. Because in the penultimate valuation, everything has been added. Whatever was used in the project has been accounted for in your penultimate valuation. So from there, you already know that in penultimate valuation, I'm paying the contractor retention moiety. Retention moiety is 50% of the retention. That is half the retention. Now, if I have paid the contractor half of the retention, what is left to be paid at final account? The balance of the retention. All right, and that is what final account is all about. But it has to be stated. You have to do the analysis to understand that that is actually what is left to be paid, except if it's, okay, there are some special contract where you see there may be variations, but majority of the contract at penultimate valuation, 50% of the retention money is paid, while the remaining 50% is paid after the defect liability period. It helps you to check whether I am right or I am wrong. All right, so this is basically how you prepare a final account. It is as simple as it is. Please do go through, prepare, practice. That is how you become a professional. You practice over and over and over and over and over, right? Understand the definitions, practice the calculations, you become better. Please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly subscribe to our channel, all right, so that you'll be among one of the first person to be notified when we post a new video. Expect more, expect more as far as quant surveying is concerned and the built environment is concerned. Expect more and more. This is Chaka Quantics. Like, comment, subscribe, share the videos. See you guys in the next video. Thank you.